Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shakespeare Minute. I'm Cassius and let's dig into the first real episode. Today I inaugurate the feature called Shakespeare Loves Lists. As you guessed it, it is a Shakespeare list. Recently, I saw a question going around the internet, series of tubes, asking people which Shakespeare characters they would like to have as their parents. And I thought that question was pretty bizarre, to be honest, and most people weren't even picking characters who were parents. So that's weird too, I thought, and why not actually look at some Shakespearean parenting? So here, in honor of Mother's Day, I have Shakespeare's top 5 mothers, complete with reasons why, despite being the best mothers in the Shakespeare canon, I still wouldn't remotely put them on the same planet in terms of awesomeness as my mom in real life. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Alright, so here are Shakespeare's top moms. A quick word before jumping in. It is well known that Shakespeare does not have nearly the number of mothers as fathers in his plays, having many middle-aged and older men with children who are visibly wifeless. Lear, Gloucester, Polonius, Titus, Shylock, Henry IV, etc. Where did all the wives and mothers go? Well, they probably went the it's harder to get young boys to believably play older mother-aged women than it is to get young boys to believably play young women route. However, before getting to the top 5 mothers, I want to let you know that I was actually able to find no fewer than 23 characters who are female and have had children. And there may be a few super minor ones that I missed. I wouldn't swear on a stack of complete works that I've got 100% of them here. The mothers in Shakespeare's canon that don't make the cut follow here, ordered by play, after which we dive into the top 5. Alright, with them out of the way, let's jump into the top 5. Shakespeare's greatest mothers, number 5. Constance, from King John. Constance is a very supportive mother of a very unfortunate son. She's probably the least well-known of the 5 mothers that I'll be discussing here, so let's dig into a bit of context. She is the widow of Geoffrey, who was the middle son of Henry II and younger brother to Richard I. After Richard I died with no legitimate children, the youngest brother, King John, seized the throne. Constance and Geoffrey's child, Arthur, has the stronger claim, according to Constance at least, being the son of an older brother to John. Constance spends the entirety of her role advocating for her son, drumming up a Europe-wide stink and getting several heads of state on board with her son's campaign. It's very impressive and almost actually works. Her one major flaw that keeps her far, far away from the awesomeness of, say, my mom, is that she carries out many of these fights in front of her very young child, who gets mightily freaked out by it all.
Good, my mother, peace. I would that I were low laid in my grave. I'm not worth this coil that's made for me.
Historically, he was a bit older than this, but here he is portrayed as a young, innocent child. Things don't end up going well for Arthur either. Another somewhat darker potential problem with Constance is the idea that she might be doing this more out of self-interest than interest in her son's right, which is certainly an accusation thrown by her detractors on King John's side, but it does ring of a bit of truth. However, when Constance and her son are separated during all the fighting, she does the very motherly thing and loses her goddamned mind about it.
Grief fills the room up of my absent child.
That's mother number 5, Constance, mother of Arthur, from King John.
For since the birth of Cain, the first male child, to him that did but yesterdays aspire, there was not such a gracious creature born.
Mother number 4, Volumnia, from Coriolanus. Volumnia, Volumnia, Volumnia. Her very name thunders with terrifying power. A true upstanding Roman, she is very into valiantly defending Rome in bloody combat. Her son, noted General Caius Marcius Coriolanus, makes her proud by pretty much single-handedly taking out an enemy city during a war. Volumnia is thrilled with her son for his exploits. You know, she's almost creepily into it, but when Caius Marcius can't snap out of his warlike mode to truly buckle down to the finer diplomatic points of running for office, Volumnia knows that she has to dole out some tough love, which she absolutely is up for. She can always effectively convince her son to at least try to do what is right, even if he doesn't always succeed once he does try. The key weirdness about Volumnia is that, well, the relationship between her and Coriolanus is a little icky and weird. His wife is a character in the play, but we get a sense that the real couple here is Volumnia and Coriolanus, not Virgilia and Coriolanus. Well, it's ancient Rome, weirder stuff happened, I'm sure, but it's clear that this woman loves her son and drove him to do great things. Mother number 4, Volumnia, mother of Caius Marcius Coriolanus, from Coriolanus.
Because that now it lies you on to speak to the people, not by your own instruction, nor by the matter your heart prompts you, but with such words that are but roted in your tongue, though but bastards and syllables, of no allowance to your bosom's truth.
Mother number 3, the nurse from Romeo and Juliet. Now I know what you're saying, the nurse isn't a mother. Well, tough. She was a mother, as she mentioned her deceased daughter Susan, who was born around the same time as Juliet. So she was a mother, even if she isn't now, and her sweet, endearing, supportive relationship with Juliet makes her the far more compelling mother figure in the Capulet household relative to Lady Capulet. By a mile. This isn't even close. The nurse has a great and bawdy sense of humor, but knows how to keep the terrible secret of Juliet's marriage. The nurse also advises Juliet to marry Paris when, the defecation starts to interface with the ventilator later on, which, while it would be a major betrayal of Romeo, is not bad advice given the alternatives. The nurse stands up for Juliet against Lord Capulet too, when he hits the roof about Juliet not wanting to marry Paris. The nurse knows how to be both funny and emotionally honest at different points in the play, and she is always in Juliet's corner. I guess since Juliet is 13, we can fault her for not keeping things PG-13 around the house, but hey, the stories that she tells are pretty funny. Not the sharpest knife, but easily the kindest and most well-meaning character in the play. Mother number 3, the nurse, mother to Susan and Juliet, from Romeo and Juliet.
God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. And I might live to see thee married once, I have my wish.
Mother number 2, the Countess of Roussillon from All's Well That Ends Well. The Countess, talk about a powerful woman. The Countess of Roussillon is great, and she knows that sometimes, as a mom, you have to kick a little butt. She whips her son Bertram into shape by allying with the heroine, Helena, her daughter-in-law. Yes, the methods are questionable. She does lie to her son to say that his wife is dead in the hopes that he'll start to love her if she's dead in a weird kind of... Anyway, she's a sensible, stern woman who really wants her son to just stop being a jerk. Also, on the off chance that you believe that Bertram is better off with Helena, you could argue that by forcing Helena on him, the Countess is actually acting out of his interest, and she is acting out of love, even if she is wrong, and it is definitely completely insane, I understand that, and she's arguably a better mother-in-law than mother, but it's not her fault that she's caught up in a ridiculous story. Given the context, she's actually kind of with it and amazing. Mother number 2, the Countess of Roussillon, mother of Count Bertram in All's Well That Ends Well.
Right, Rinaldo, to this unworthy husband of his wife. Let every word weigh heavy with her worth, which he does weigh too light. My greatest grief, though little he do feel it, set down sharply.
And now, mother number 1, Hermione, from The Winter's Tale. Hermione is the queen of Sicilia, wife of Leontes and mother to Mamilius and Perdita. While we don't get too much from her actively parenting, it is clear that Hermione is amazing as a person, queen, wife, and mother. She has an adorable scene with the little Prince Mamilius while 9 months pregnant with Perdita, and her relationship with her son is so strong that he dies when he's separated from her forcefully by his crazy father. It is Hermione who has the strength to keep her family together against all the adversity that this problem play puts them through, and she awesomely punishes her husband after he sends their baby daughter away. For her grace, poise, and the amazing ability to give that sucker what he has coming for his ill treatment of their children, Hermione definitely wins Shakespeare's best mother from me.
Pray you, sit by us and tell us a tale.
Merry or sad shall it be?
As merry as you will.
A sad tale's best for winter.
Oh, but for marrying that total psycho instead of the sweet man that my father is, she still can't hold a candle to my mom. Mom, from the bottom of my heart, I am super happy that you are not a Shakespeare character. Happy Mother's Day. For the Shakespeare Minute, I'm Cassius. Until next time, think of the world.
This one goes out.